It's time for another episode of Self, Health and Wealth with Dean Delonix. It's now episode 6. So over the last few episodes, we've spoke about lots of different things, from diet, meditation, exercise, increasing wealth with work. We're moving on to newer parts now. So in this episode, what we're going to be doing is moving that one step further. I'm going to be doing a couple of interviews. One I'm going to be doing with one of our DJs at Go Go Disco. He's got a number of different pseudonyms. You can call him Pat Mustard, and you can call him Tidy Spidey, and just Colin if you like. But yeah, we're going to do a little chat with him about happiness and how he's found things through lockdown. We're also going to do a chat with Cath. Now, I've been talking about Cath on the show loads and loads and loads, and finally I've nailed it down and we've managed to get a little bit of interview as well. So I'll show that shortly too. And then we're going to talk about going forward, the things that I'm going to be doing to up my game a wee bit. So I've kind of plateaued at my weight, and I've had to speak to a friend of mine called Richard, who I'm going to be speaking with next week. But he sent me a diet plan, so I'll hopefully get that sent in through, and you can have a little look and see what the new diet's going to look like and see if I can trim off a bit of weight. Generally, I'll do my statistics now. So things are looking quite good. So I'm going to put them up here. Can you see them? These are my new stats. Ta-da! So we moved on even further from before. The good thing about this is I get to rechange my targets a wee bit. Before it was real basic stuff. I just wanted to kind of get out of bed and not feel like shit every day. We're past that now. I'm feeling fantastic. Back at work, doing so much more with the Go Go Disco brand that we're doing. And also Dean Delonix brand, we're doing a lot of live music as well. So that's really pushing forward. And I'm ready to just pick a few new targets. So the new targets I'm going to strive for is I'm going to increase the amount of weight that I need to lose over the next 3 months. I want to lose another stone. So that's going to be really, really difficult. It means I've got to concentrate on this diet hugely. I've got to keep getting to that gym. I've got a wee injury again on my foot, but I'm going to go through that. I'm going to get back to the gym, get back cycling, and keep burning those calories. With my mental health, I need to go do my yoga training. I've not done any yoga training yet. I've got it hopefully booked in for the next episode. You'll see me doing that. That should be helping both my mental health and my physical health as well. So that's another thing that's going to help myself, my health, and we'll come on to the wealth bit. The wealth bit is going fantastic. We've just taken on some new venues. We're really ramping up things, and I'm going to hopefully be meeting with someone to discuss my options for advertising. So we're going to see if we can pump some money into the business to try and make more money. That's going to be a great way to just make sure that the wealth goes well going forward. So I'll leave you with our next interview. This is an interview first with Cath. I'm going to show you a little bit of advice from her. So we are here in the beautiful Ponty Park. Now, the truth is, we came in, we did a video a few weeks ago, and it didn't work because my sound quality was so poor. So hopefully you can hear us now.
Visually, it was great.
Visually, it was really stunning.
The sun was shining, the birds were chirping.
Beautiful.
But you couldn't hear none of it.
No, it was just a bit like... You could hear my stupid voice, or you couldn't make out yourself. But anyway, so we're here now. So I'm with Cath, and Cath, we've known each other quite a while now.
Yeah.
So we met each other through the music scene of Pontefract. So I was doing DJ work in a bar, and you'd come there, and I was booked to play your wedding.
Yeah.
And obviously with COVID now playing up, then we're not able to go ahead with that as planned. So where are we now? So I've been on the journey for, this will be my fifth video, but really I think it's about 6 or 7 weeks I've been on the journey now. And so Cath, I wanted to sit down and talk with you. So you might have heard me talk about Cath in previous videos. I've said I'll be meeting with Cath next week, but I never did end up meeting with you. I'm meeting Cath next week. And what I love about you is your personality, your infectious personality. I think you're a bit of a light worker. Are you familiar with that term?
Yeah.
where you understand the feelings and emotions of people around you.
Oh gosh,
right?
yeah.
And I've always found you somebody who naturally lights up a room, but I'm assuming you've been told that quite a lot in your life.
Not in my early life,
No?
but definitely over the last couple of years, and it's something I was unaware of.
Right.
Because I'm just like, oh my goodness, let's just be joyous. Life is delightful, because it really is. And people will be like, oh, Cath, you don't know what you do to people, and I don't. And maybe that's part of the beauty of it.
I think so.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's good. That's good. When you said that you weren't so much when you were younger, what do you mean by that?
Oh, for me, so I'm in my 40s now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't look
Yeah,
it.
no, of course not.
But, gosh, I reckon that I have struggled on and off with my mental health throughout the entirety of my adult life. Probably all of my life, actually, certainly from being a teenager. Had a lot of anger. I was adopted. It screwed with my head, do you know what I mean? It really did. And I just, gosh, I was on a path of utter self-destruction for a couple of decades.
Right.
And I just got to a point where I felt that I was so broken, I just had to just change and just become whatever I was supposed to be.
Well, tell us a little bit more about, if you remember, that realisation, because I think that's where a lot of people are getting to now,
Yeah.
post-lockdown.
Yeah.
So try and describe that change, the realisation.
Things just kept going wrong, and I got to a point where, gosh, I couldn't even leave my house. Just a catalogue of really, really disastrous events just happened, and I kept thinking, I can't get any lower.
Yeah.
And then something else had happened, and I was like, oh my God, I can't get any lower than this.
Yeah.
And then something else had happened, and I'd be like, oh my God. And it just got to the point where I literally felt so broken. I did not care what people thought of me. I just had to get through a day. And that was the beginning of this beautiful freedom.
Yeah.
Because I was just fighting to survive a day, to be able to go out of my house. I'd run out of electric, and I've got electric meters, and I'd wait till the night time to go out and get electric because I didn't want to see anybody. I felt so judged. I felt so awful about myself. And so I just genuinely, for the first time ever probably, started rebuilding myself. So every single part of me that is here because I'm proud of it, because I have fought to have it, which is why I guess I'm so free, which is why I'm like, wagwan to the whole room, and I don't care what you think, because it makes me feel good. And does that answer that question?
It does answer the question quite well. And it would be, for the average person who meets you now, wouldn't cross the mind that there was a time in your life you're like that. And I suppose the character build that comes with a difficult sort of childhood and difficult teens builds the person you are later in life, and it's your choice, the route you take,
Yeah, I want to really categorically say that my mum and dad were amazing, and my sister. I was adopted into a white family, and that's where the whole anger and upset and sadness came from, and they were amazing, and they still are. I just kicked a lot. do you know what I mean?
No, I do, I can understand that.
Yeah, man.
Okay, and what about now going forward then in your everyday sort of life? So tell us some of the things. Now, we did speak previously about meditation to a degree, so I'd like to learn more from you about that.
Okay.
Your day-to-day tasks that you do to set yourselves up for a good day.
So I wake up in the morning. I do not pick up my
Yeah.
I do not pick up my phone.
No, you do.
No, absolutely not.
No, you really don't?
No.
It's not something you just say you don't do.
No,
but
I
really
don't
you
pick
do.
up my phone.
I do. Every
I get
single
up in the morning and I just want to come round and just, have the day for a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's always a pot of coffee that's been brewed.
Nice.
If it's sunny, I will go and I will sit outside. I've got a massive garden, loads of wildlife. I listen to the birds.
Yeah.
I just kind of think about, what I want to do that day, what's coming up that day. And this is even if I wake up at 6:30 to go to work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I still have just that little bit of time.
And you do that every single morning,
Every day.
And it sets you up for a good day. Well, that's
Every
really
day,
good advice.
Every day. Because I kind of feel like as soon as you pick up your phone, you're letting the outside world in. Let me just spend a moment with myself.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I do. Sometimes I'll do some guided meditation. Sometimes I just want to just drink it all in. And just have a think and have a little bit of peace and quiet.
What does meditation look like to you? So physically, do you put yourself in a certain position or a certain place?
No, I used to. I did when I first started. When I first started, I was doing guided meditation for anxiety because I was really, last year, COVID, wondering if I was going to get married.
Yeah.
I was anxious. So that involved kind of lying down with my headphones on and just taking 10 minutes out in like on my bed, just relaxing. But now, no, I'll just put my headphones on because I like to be completely immersed in it. And I've discovered, can I say a person's name who I like?
Yeah.
Okay, so a woman called Abraham Hicks.
Yeah.
And some of it, what she talks about is like law of attraction and things like that as well. But it's just focusing on all the beautiful things, focusing on your thoughts, controlling your thoughts, not letting them get out of hand, you know what I mean? And that's something that I found really, really useful because actually happiness is a choice, right? And I'm in charge of my thoughts, or I should be. So, you know, if something's happened and it's made me a bit upset, right, it's having the control to be able to say, right, no, stop.
Yeah.
Let's just pull it back a bit. What am I grateful for? Oh my gosh, I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
Anything else is a bonus, right? You know, stuff like that. And also a big part of it is what I'm putting out as well. So I kind of feel like when I do meditate, I just feel really centered. I feel really, and breathe.
Yeah.
And just nice. And then I just, imagine before I meditate, I'm feeling a bit jaggedy like this. And then I'll meditate and I'm just like, right, nice and serene and just, let's
And
just do this.
is it based on these 7 chakras? Is that what you do?
No, I don't even go that deep into it.
Because I've been doing that, and it's
How's that for you?
unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't have thought that would be something that would really affect my life as much as it did. So I can now, but you see, and I've been speaking to somebody about this, and I always get embarrassed talking about it, and that's just the way I've not been brought up. It's from my, I suppose, adult kidhood, what do you call it, teens, where you just try and be like a bloke and not talk about feelings.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, I can literally vibrate the different chakras in my body.
Oh wow!
As we're talking about them, and it started off as a pulse in my root chakra. It started off as pulse. I was like, I don't fucking feel a pulse, right? In this, and I'm like, I'm just gonna chill it. Then it started just being warmth, like this and that. And I was like, and then the vibration was like, no fucking way. Sorry for swearing. No way. That is weird. And then I got my sacral chakra. That was doing it. A little bit not very good in my what do you call that? Your what's that called? Diaphragm? No, what do you call it in your what chakra is that?
I don't know.
I can't remember that one.
I'll
teach you. Can't remember what that's called. The heart I can do it in. Throat I can't do it in. I can do it in the middle eye. So I've got some unbalancing on it. But to even be able to get some vibration this day freaks me proper out. Right? So it's definitely working. Right?
So I want to say something at this point. You're saying that you feel almost a bit embarrassed about it, but actually, isn't it amazing that you're so self-aware?
Yeah.
That's what you should be focusing on here.
Yeah.
Because you've got this awareness from your mind within your body.
I can feel, I could feel, it's so weird, when I was really in this meditative state, I could feel my organs. I can almost feel like I'd eaten previously, but I could kind of feel it digesting. Okay. I could feel stuff. My body was just so awake, and my mind was allowing to, I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? Well, I could feel my whole body. Anyway, we're getting a little bit more deeper than what's called meditation. But you do that, try and do it regular meditation.
Yeah.
And some days I can't do anything, and some days my body just vibrates. It's just crazy.
See, for me, some days I'll meditate at night as well. Some days I won't.
Yeah.
I guess it depends what's happened during the day.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a bit different. I feel like I like to connect to nature more. I feel like that's what pulls me.
Yeah.
But maybe I've not got into it that deep yet.
What things have you got going on in the future? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to having a sing-song. I can't believe you sent me that message last week. Yeah. And I was like, but I didn't even see it because I've been so busy at work with all this stuff going on. I really want a jam. I think it would be very good for my soul at this point. Just have a little sing something. Yeah,
what are you doing Wednesday? I'm doing it every Wednesday.
I'm coming on Wednesday.
Are you really? Yeah?
I absolutely am.
Okay. We're going to put the filming of this on this video released. So today's Monday, so you're coming Wednesday.
Yes, I am.
You're brilliant. Yeah. Good. What songs are we doing?
We'll
keep it a surprise, don't tell them.
Yeah.
Tell me separately.
I'm not saying, where's the camera? I'm not saying.
Is it alright if I do this again sometime with you?
Yeah, man.
Let's see how we are in a few. Yeah, we're like, forget everything I said. I'm a mistake.
Oh, I'm so sad today.
Yeah. That's it. Catch us on a good day.
Yeah, man.
And we've not had a terrible sunny day, but I hope you've enjoyed the kind of location we're at. It's lovely here. Kath, thank you so much. I
Feel
really
good,
do
man.
appreciate this.
Thank you, actually. I
Yeah.
can't believe how just having a chat,
Couldn't it?
I feel quite serene now.
In a world of people who, you're forced to kind of be with, or you go over work and you put up with people's ideals and thoughts. It's nice just to have someone on your wavelength to chill out for a bit and have a little chat.
Yeah, man.
It's only a few minutes, but it's nice in the day to do that. So thank you.
No, thank you.
What do you think of that? Hope you enjoyed it. Isn't she fantastic? And I think it shows it's really important to have people like that in your life. You know, there's lots of different types of friends out there. You've got friends who are there for everything. Friends who are more like a brother or a sister to you. They're important to keep for most things. There's friends who are kind of fair weather friends who are great when, you know, you just want to party and have a drink and you know, they're good to have too. Sometimes they're not always there when you need them. And that's okay as well, because I don't think we need to expect everyone in our lives to be there emotionally and physically and everything for us all the time. So it's just, I guess what I'm saying is, understand what's expected of the people around you as friends, and you know, have different types of friends for different things, I think is what I'm trying to say. I hope that makes a bit of sense. Right, time for our next interview. This one with our DJ Pat Mustard, a great guy. He handles a load of weddings for us. You know, if I need a DJ who's going to pump out some banging house tunes, or if I've got a sax player turning up and I want someone to really work really closely with our sax players, Pat's brilliant at this. Great guy, charming. Have a little look. We're actually driving this video, so it's not the best quality, but we're on our way to meet a client for a wedding over in Manchester. So we're just driving on the way back. Thought we'd have a little chat. We started chatting and thought, you know what, let's record this. So see what you think. And I have a guest with me now. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Pat.
So Pat is one of the best hard house DJs I've ever had the pleasure to work with. And he's on the Go-Go Disco team. He's looking after our weddings. In fact, we've just come back from a meeting with a very happy bride and groom, haven't we?
Yeah. Lovely couple.
Yeah, what we like to do, really, to make sure that every event we do is really successful, is to meet with people and we do a proper talk through the atmosphere, talk through the run through of the evening, how we would like their music to be sculpted specifically to their show. So we've done that today. It's been quite an eventful one. We had quite a funny time with the guys at the venue, but it's gone really well. So Pat, what I'm doing in this sort of, we'll call it a documentary, it makes it sound a lot better, but we're talking about self, health and wealth. So can you kind of talk to us about how lockdown has affected you in those different ways?
Sure. So I think everyone can relate to it. It's been a journey, obviously, for everyone. There's the concerns about work and keeping the money flowing in.
Yeah.
There's the concerns about how that work is going to change when lockdown finally lifts, which it's going to in 2 weeks. We're taking faith in that.
Woo!
And there's the mental pressures that it's put on everyone in the family, not just the adults, the children. You know, you've got to. In my case, I've got two fairly young children. They're 4 and 9, and so, you know, I've got nothing to compare this to for them. This has never happened to me as a child. So to think at that age, having a year out of school, pretty much, I mean, that's kind of unthinkable. You know, that's a year away from friends, from the learning that they're supposed to have done. You know, I think everyone's done their best to enrich the learning as much as you can at home during that time, but there's inevitably going to be some after effects and gaps, and at the moment I don't think we know what they are. So yeah.
Could you explain the ways, as a parent through lockdown, the ways or any advice to anyone else who's got kids, things that you could do to, now we're coming out of lockdown, maybe to help your kids readjust into normal sort of society? I
think obviously everyone's different, so there's that to begin with, but in our case we try to have a balance of, yes, they've still got to learn stuff and keep up with learning, so the basics of reading regularly, some arithmetic, you know, throwing some sums at them, those are kind of those are your basics. That's your standards. If you're doing those things, then you're helping them to keep up to a certain level. But we didn't want it to be this whole experience of, well, now you're not at school, we're gonna, crack the whip and make you work 24/7. It was an opportunity, a unique opportunity, because obviously it's not going to happen again. To allow them more of that freedom time to do things that might enrich them in other ways. So my daughter, for instance, has been learning to play the ukulele.
No way.
Yeah, so anything musical, that's a huge thing, because
That is cool.
you teach anything musically, and it helps the brain power in other areas. I think that's proven.
So is she going for lessons privately, or are you teaching her?
No, it's been purely online learning, so self-learning, as well as now that she's back at school, of course, she does have the regular lessons there.
Perfect.
And then we're starting to think about what we might want to introduce my son Xander to as well now. So he's 4, nearly 5. Not quite sure what he's going to want to do yet. He's still very much a typical 4-year-old, just wants to run and play everywhere. So we'll have the chats with him and try and gauge what his interests are, and then go from there, I think.
What about drums? You're a seasoned drummer, right?
I'm a drummer. So I would love it if they would both play drums, to be honest. The only issue is room, is a space to put them in the home. At the moment, we really don't have somewhere, but maybe we could look at doing something with the garage, because at the moment I do store quite a bit of things in there. If I could shift things around, I might be able to sort it. But if I'm going to put something expensive like a drum kit in there, you want to waterproof it and make it right.
Yeah, you're right, you do. I like the idea of using music. I think obviously our lives are based around music, and for my son, he's been learning the guitar. I've been teaching him the guitar, which has been good for the two of us, to get a bit of good father-son time together. In fact, and he's been singing, learning the lyrics to some new songs. In fact, I'll just move to a clip. Here's a clip of Killian performing at our last open mic session. Have a watch this.
So, Killian, who's your favourite band in the world?
Probably Green Day.
Green Day. Anyone like Green Day?
Good choice, good choice.
Okay, what's your favourite Green Day song? So we're trying to do Basket Kids. One, two, three.
Hey, what do you think of that? Like that? Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it was one of my proudest moments to see my son up there playing some music, and especially that venue is. No, my wife cried. But I had a good. I was more proud, but I was like my dad when I was playing. Not critical, but you just want him to. You want him to do good, not emotional. It's like, go on, son, knock him out. But it was a funny venue because it's a grown-up venue. It's got a lot of alcohol in there. There was people who were kind of drunk. You can hear them kind of shouting and laughing along. So it's quite a nerve-wracking experience, and he did a fantastic job, and that's good for him. He really got affected by lockdown too. So we're really looking forward to getting him open and getting him back to his family and friends, just to get a bit of that sense of back to the normal social life, let's say. But what about you personally with lockdown? How has it affected your mental health? Because I've been very candid in my other episodes about how I felt. What about yourself?
It's difficult to explain, really. I mean, because it feeds into all the other things that affect our lives, i.e. work and finance and all the other things, that in itself then feeds into the worries that you have and affects your mental health. So, I mean, I should be honest and say I've been quite fortunate compared to many that I know, in that my main job never wavered, never changed, apart from the fact that instead of going into the office, I was working from home. But in terms of what I was doing, and the hours that I was doing it was no different. It was just it was the venue change. So really that's all it was. But then I suppose the venue change itself, that has an effect, because you're not moving much, so it had to wait, and I'm a big lad, so I need to get into the post-lockdown habit of getting more movement and more exercise, I think.
I know that feeling. So that leads on to health, I suppose. And I think hitting my age, so I'm going to be 40 in July, and I've been working on this diet, and I've done fairly well with it, but I'm finding it so difficult to drop the weight. I thought it would be a lot easier than it is, but I suppose that anything in life is difficult is worth doing, and I can see the kind of benefits on it. But how does health matter to you? What you said that now you're out of lockdown, it's time to think about health more. Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, definitely. No one wants to be big. Well, I'm sure there's a select few that might have it as a kink, but I'm not one of them.
They call them chubby chasers.
So I would like to drop some weight. I don't think anyone would not want to do that given the opportunity. I just need to make more opportunities myself now, and particularly now we've got the chance again. It's definitely going to end in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Remaining positive on that front. That I need to get out and do more stuff, but also allow when as DJing returns, and I'm going to be having more physical movement from that as well.
Yeah,
that alone is going to improve my mental health. Getting back in a room and getting that music and getting the people going is just.
It's hard to explain.
It is to people that don't do it. It's hard to explain.
The feeling you get performing music and helping create an atmosphere for an evening. It's something of awe. It's what I live for. Yeah. I'm sure that you're the same.
Yeah.
And having that taken away from you, it's just been horrible. So getting back into it now, I'm hoping that that's going to set a few things in motion. That's going to help, mental health, physical health, obviously wealth. Yes. I mean, having money coming in now from the gigs has been extraordinary.
Yeah, the couple of outdoor ones that I've done have been quite emotional, actually. That feeling of getting people moving again. I'm really looking forward to getting the indoor settings back again now. Like as good as the outdoor ones are, you can't replace that feeling of a big indoor gig in it. Whatever event it is, if it's a wedding or a birthday or an anniversary, it's just such a great feeling when you're providing that happiness to other people.
What about, have you ever been given any advice by somebody else that you thought was good and that's something you should share with others?
Yeah, definitely. My manager now for my main role, lovely lady, she gave me some great advice, which is obviously if you set out to do something and you fail at it, well, if you basically give yourself a score of 10 at the beginning every day, and you get to the end of that day and you might have failed to do one or two of those things, so your score might drop to an 8, or you might have an even worse day and your score's dropped to a 4. Okay, you go to bed, you get up and you sleep on it, you get up. The next day you're a 10 again. Just remember to start each day at that and not dwell on the failures. You just learn from them effectively, because no person that's ever successful has never had failures. They are successful because they've failed, but they've kept going and learned from it.
Was it Elon Musk? Is that right? Was it Elon Musk? Did he create PayPal? Am I wrong?
Yes.
Is that so? Right, okay.
Yeah,
he said something.
Fortune,
he did say something like he started up a business, failed, started up another business with his brother, failed. I think he did that 6 or 7 times, and then the 8th business was PayPal. You know, and you just keep going. You just never stop, because someone who's entrepreneurial. What's the word? Entrepreneurial.
I like your version.
Thank you. Is the type of person who doesn't stop at the first failure.
No,
I failed at lots of different businesses, but I've kept going, and this one now fairly successful, actually.
Yeah.
2016 we started, so that's as businesses go, that's not too bad. Any words of advice for other people who might be struggling?
Just pick a small goal, anything, you know, whether it's you want to. I mean, I don't want to dream of anything, you know, big and life-changing. So you say you want to write a book. Well, I don't think anyone's just going to go, right, well, I'm going to sit down and write a book from the off.
Right, it starts with page 1, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take the steps towards it each day. So, you know, whether it's putting down some ideas for it, doing some of the research that you need to do for it, or even just setting out, if you've got that big goal in mind, set out what the steps are that you need to do to get to it, and then just tick each one of them off as you go.
That's really good advice. It was a friend of mine, Lisa Brody, who we've talked to in the video before. She was talking about looking at life through headlights. You know, when you're driving a car at night, you can only see a few feet in front of you. You know, you don't quite know where the exact journey is going to end, but as long as you do that first little few steps, each step gets closer to your end point of your journey, you know?
That's it.
So just any little steps you can do builds you on and gets you closer to your goal.
It does, and remember when you've done each of those steps that you did that, you know, that you actually set a goal and you did it, and then you move on to the next thing, and then you can think, all right, well, I've done that 4 or 5 times now, you know, this is easy, I know I can do the next thing, and it becomes habit then, it doesn't become a challenge anymore. You just get the pure enjoyment out of it.
Love it. Good. And for people who have been setting goals for themselves and failing, I've failed a couple of times on this last 4 weeks, so I'm in week 5 now, let's say, and over the 4 weeks I've failed, but any day that I've come to a fail, I've always thought that's just another day, I can move on the next day. Don't let that bring me down. You know, we're not all perfect, we can't succeed every single day, and if you do have a day where you've maybe not done as much as you wanted to, maybe you felt a little bit down and just had a down day, that's okay. It's fine.
We're all going to feel that.
The next day you can just get back to where you were, get back on the horse, continue. Well, thanks very much, Pat.
There you go. So there's some good words there from Pat. Hopefully you get something from that as well. Thank you, Pat, for doing that. So that kind of leads me to the end of my video. We'll look forward to next week's. Well, it might not be a week, and this one was a few weeks out, wasn't it? But I was really busy. So whenever the next one comes out, I'm hoping that we'll be doing things like the yoga side of it. So we'll move more into the yoga training. You can see how a big guy who's really unflexible like me can hopefully use yoga to better my life, and see if I can hone myself into a new mindset, and hopefully help my body kind of burn fat better, because I suppose if you're more in tune with your mind, body and spirit, then, you know, hey, you can do anything, right? So hopefully we're speaking to Richard Adams as well, who's going to help me through my new diet work. So thanks for that. Thanks for sending that through. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. You can see on my channel loads of other videos for music. We're just trying to really fill that calendar now for live music and for DJs. So if you're having an event, if you're getting married, or you want somebody for a corporate event, let's say, we have loads of DJs, loads of live acts, loads of sax players, loads of opportunities for you to make sure that evening is perfect. So please do get in touch. You can contact me on here or on our Facebook pages, gogodisco.co.uk, or you can find me as Dean Delonix on Facebook and drop me a message. We really do work tirelessly to make sure that your evening is absolutely perfect, and we've got loads of great reviews to prove that. So thanks so much. Get in touch, and I'll see you next time.